All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the behind the scenes of this shot, this sci-fi concept that I had with Nyla. So to start off, I had to set up the photo studio. And so what I was using was three Godox TL60 light tubes. I also used a reflector that you can see. It's a pretty large reflector. I also had a backdrop that I used, and you'll see, I believe we changed backdrops throughout the shoot, but I started off with this neutral gray backdrop, and then what I was shooting on was a Canon R6. I don't remember if it was the Mark II or not. I believe it was. So it's the Canon 6 Mark II plus the 85 millimeter f 1.2 lens. So that's what I was shooting with. And so just to go ahead and get started, the direction I gave the model was to try and dress in something kind of sci-fi looking. And so she did a really great job. So she had kind of this kind of Star Trek kind of collar, high collar. We talked about chrome colors, sparkles, and then we also used some face makeup as well, which you can kind of see the pearls in her face. So I actually kept that around as kind of a something to enhance the shoot. So I actually gave that to the model to put on. And then I also forgot to mention one of the secret sauces here in the shoot was I had a smoke machine. And so this is the Smoke Ninja. And so I think the company is called PMI, if I remember right. And so I used the PMI Smoke Ninja. I'm using the light tubes. And so you can see here the colors that I tried to use was orange, kind of like a pinkish orange, and then also a purple. And so I was shooting portrait here because it was we're doing a portrait session. But you can see I'm testing around the lights and moving it around just to try and see how the orange and purple can be balanced with each other. And so once I had my lighting right, then I started using the smoke. And so you see the smoke coming in, and then you'll see the final shot that we were able to capture. You can see that orange looks like flames almost. So I was really excited with that shot. And then we'll see the next one here. And you can play around with the color slider to balance out the purple and the orange. And so you can make the picture more purple, more orange, or if you have a little bit of too much of one or the other, you can balance it out. So you can see this image was more purple. And so you have that direction when it comes to using the light tubes and using Photoshop to enhance your images. So I think I was really focused on trying to have some cool color harmony and trying to make sure that I didn't have a bunch of colors in my image. So that's why you can see that we focused on that orange and purple. And then from here, you'll see the model put on red, and you can see I changed the direction of how I had the light tube. And with that, that's just to provide more shine and a certain look of reflection in the glasses. So I gave her these kind of cool, like cyberpunky looking glasses, which I think, it reads more cyberpunk, but I don't think it would stand out in kind of sci-fi world or a sci-fi concept. So I gave her some of those, and I tried to clean it up just to make sure and enhance the reflection that we get in that. And so then we'll have the smoke come in to add the haze, and we'll see the final image here in just a second. And Nyla was really excellent in finding poses and being able to really work with the small frame that I gave her because she has to stay in that narrow backdrop. She has to also stay within the smoke, stay where I have the light tubes lighting her. And so I was really pleased in how they came out and really pleased on the work that Nyla really put in on this project here and making my vision come to life. So Nyla's given a couple different poses. You can see I changed the color. It's not as orange now. It's more like a pinkish. Um, and so That was just to add some visual difference. So you can see it's more purple pink. And then we have the red of the glasses that really stands out. And then moving on to this concept, I bought a sci-fi helmet, like a astronaut space helmet kind of thing. And so I paid a lot of money for this helmet, and so I wanted to make sure we got to use this helmet. And that's actually how this concept got started. Was after I bought the helmet, I was like, okay, well, I definitely need to use this helmet for a sci-fi concept. Um, I do not recommend this helmet. I wish I got my money back. I'm not happy about the purchase, but it did come out with some cool images, which you can see there. But overall, sometimes you see a concept and you're like, I have to do that concept. I have to do that concept. And that's completely okay. You live and you learn. And I still have that helmet. So in case I ever wanted to do another concept, I'm able to do that. And I have that helmet. But what I loved most about the helmet was you can see the reflections from the light tubes. And so I thought that was a really cool image. Like if you see to the right side of that helmet, you can see the light. And here's a couple other images that I have after I finish shooting with Nyla that I wasn't able to record. So you see we put some flowers into the helmet. We also had her shoot with flowers outside of the helmet. We used the light tubes as part of the background, and it made for a real cool graphical effect. We used some smoke as well. So I was overall pleased with the shoot, and if you were as well, please like and subscribe. Thank you.